It's 6:15 a.m. on a Thursday. You're a motorcycle courier in Bucaramanga, Colombia. You deliver pharmacy packages, aspirin, insulin, blood pressure pills. You make 40,000 pesos a day. You've been doing this for 5 years. You know every street, every shortcut, every back road in the city. This morning, you take a shortcut through a neighborhood you don't usually pass through. Saves 10 minutes. A car pulls out and blocks the road. 2 men on a motorcycle appear behind you. Before you can turn, they're on you. One grabs your keys, the other puts something over your head. You're in the trunk of the car. Your motorcycle stays on the street with the pharmacy packages still strapped to the back. Someone called in your license plate, said you were a scout for a rival gang. You're not a scout. You're a delivery guy who took a shortcut. They take you to a farm outside the city. Concrete room. No windows. A plastic chair bolted to the floor. They zip tie your wrists behind the back of the chair. 3 men. 2 wear balaclavas. 1 doesn't. He doesn't care if you see his face. That's the one that scares you. He sits across from you. Who sent you? Nobody sent you. You deliver pharmacy packages. Why were you in that neighborhood? Shortcut. He hits you. Open hand, across the ear. Your head rings. Who do you work for? Pharma Express. It's a pharmacy. They check your bag. Aspirin, insulin, blood pressure meds. They don't care. You were on the wrong street at the wrong hour on the wrong bike. That's enough. For 3 days, they rotate the same questions. Names of people you've never heard of. Locations you've never been to. Shipments you know nothing about. They use water. They hold your head in a plastic tub until your lungs burn. They use electricity. A car battery with cables they touch to your wrists, your ribs, places that make your whole body lock up. They use patience. Hours of nothing, then sudden violence. You have nothing to give them. You try inventing answers once, a name you heard on the news, a street you think sounds right. They check. The answers don't match. That's worse than saying nothing. You go back to the truth. The truth doesn't work either. Your ignorance is the thing that's killing you. On the 3rd night, you hear a phone call through the wall. Someone talking fast. They found the real scout. Different guy. Different motorcycle. Different neighborhood. You hear someone say, "So what do we do with this one?" Silence. A long silence. Your life is being decided between 2 men on the other side of a concrete wall. The same way you decide whether to take the highway or the back road. The man without the balaclava comes in, sits down, looks at you. He doesn't apologize. He explains. You fell off your motorcycle. That's why you're bruised. You hit a post. You don't know this farm. You've never been here. You never saw anyone. Then he starts listing. Your mother lives on Carrera 27. Your sister works at the bakery on Calle 45. Your nephew goes to Colegio San Jose. He gets out at 1:30. He says all of this calmly, the way someone reads an address off a package. He asks if you understand. You nod. He says good. Then he stands up and says they need to make sure you remember the terms. The beating is calculated. Ribs. Kidneys. The soles of your feet with a wooden board. These are specific choices. Places that cause maximum pain and long recovery, but minimal visible damage. They've done this before. You're not their first wrong guy. They drive you blindfolded for an hour. You try to count turns but lose track after the 4th one. They stop. Someone opens the trunk, pulls you out, takes the blindfold off. You're on a shoulder of a highway you don't recognize. No phone, no wallet, no shoes. It's 4 a.m. You walk. The asphalt is cold. Your feet are swollen from the beating. Every step is a negotiation. A bus comes 40 minutes later. The driver looks at your face, doesn't ask for a fare, doesn't ask anything. You ride to the city. The ER nurse moves quickly. She's seen this before. The doctor asks what happened. Motorcycle accident, you say. He looks at the electrical burns on your wrists, the bruising pattern on your ribs that doesn't match a fall, the swelling on the soles of your feet. He writes, motorcycle accident, on the form. Both of you know. Both of you understand why. 4 cracked ribs, dislocated shoulder, nerve damage in your left hand from the electricity, permanent ringing in your right ear from the hits to your head. On paper, you fell off a bike. The paperwork decides what happened to you, not your body. Your mother filed a missing persons report on day 2. Police told her to wait 72 hours. Then they asked if you were involved in something. Then they said you probably left on your own. When you show up at the hospital, they closed the case. Motorcycle accident. Your mother comes to the hospital. She sees your face and cries. Your sister stands in the doorway. She doesn't ask what happened. She can see it. You say motorcycle accident. Nobody believes you. Nobody pushes. The nerve damage in your left hand doesn't heal. You can't grip the throttle. Your riding career is over. You sell phone cases at a market stall. The money is a third of what you made before. You flinch at every motorcycle engine. You take the long way everywhere. You check locks before bed. 3 times. Then a 4th time because 3 didn't feel right. You count parked cars on your street. If there's a new one, you don't sleep. Your sister asks why you scream at night. Bad dreams. Your mother asks why you don't ride anymore. You just don't. But the fear isn't the worst part. The worst part is the helplessness. You were taken and returned like a package delivered to the wrong address. You had 0 control over your body, over the pain, over whether you lived or died. 2 men on the other side of a wall decided your fate while you sat in a plastic chair with zip ties cutting into your wrists. You never want to feel that again. Not the pain, the powerlessness. That's the thing that rewires you. You start noticing things. The men who took you weren't scared. They were calm. They had the power. They decided who walked out and who didn't. You were on the chair. They were standing. You think about this every day for months. At the market stall, selling phone cases, you watch the street. You see the guys on corners, the ones with radios, the ones who watch everything. They're not scared either. Nobody grabs them. Nobody puts them in a trunk. They're inside the machine. And inside the machine is the only place the machine can't touch you. You start asking around, carefully. A guy you knew from school works for a local crew. You buy him a beer. You tell him you want in. He laughs. You're a phone case vendor. What are you going to do? You tell him you know every street in Bucaramanga, every shortcut, every back road, every alley. 5 years on a motorcycle, rain or sun. You know which roads get patrolled and when. You know which neighborhoods have cameras and which ones don't. You know the city like a map burned into your brain. He stops laughing. He says he'll ask someone. A week later, a man meets you at a cafe. He asks why you want the work. You don't give him the real answer. You say money. He asks if you've ever been in trouble. You say no. Motorcycle accident once. That's it. He gives you a phone. Prepaid. 1 number saved. When it rings, you answer. First job is simple. Pick up a bag from a house in the south. Deliver it to an apartment in the north. You do it on a bicycle because your hand still can't grip a throttle. The bag is heavy. You don't open it. You deliver it in 35 minutes. The man calls you that night. Says you were fast. Come back tomorrow. For 3 months, you're a courier again. Same streets. Same shortcuts. Different cargo. You don't ask what's in the bags. You already know. The pay is 400,000 pesos a week. 10 times what the pharmacy paid. You buy your mother a new refrigerator. Tell her business at the market is good. She doesn't ask questions. You're reliable. You're fast. You never panic. Most new guys are jumpy, nervous, scared of every police car. You're not. You've already lived through the worst thing that can happen. Everything after that is just logistics. The crew notices. They give you more runs, bigger packages, tighter windows. You deliver everyone on time. You start mapping patrol patterns. Not because anyone asked, because your brain does it automatically now. You write them down. Hand the notes to your handler. He looks at the maps. Looks at you. passes them up the chain. By the end of the year, you're not delivering anymore. You're managing the couriers. 8 guys on motorcycles running your routes. Your routes, the ones you mapped. You tell them which streets to take, what times to avoid, where the checkpoints rotate. You run the network like a dispatch system, because that's what it is. You build schedules. You create backup routes for when the main ones get hot. You track police shift changes. Every Tuesday and Friday, the patrol rotates at 6 p.m. There's a 12-minute gap between shifts on the South Corridor. That's when your guys move the heavy packages. Nobody taught you this. You just watch. The same hypervigilance that kept you awake at night, counting cars and checking locks, now makes you the best route manager in the organization. Your paranoia became a professional skill. The money goes up. Your cut goes up. You move your mother to a better apartment. You tell her you got promoted at a logistics company. She's not wrong. You buy a car. You sleep better. Not because the nightmare stopped. Because the helplessness did. Nobody is going to put you in a plastic chair again. You're inside the machine now. You eat at restaurants where the owner knows your face. You wear clean clothes. You have a phone that always has credit. Small things. But for someone who sold phone cases in the sun 6 months ago, small things feel like everything. They bring you to a farm. Different farm. Better maintained. There's a man in a concrete room. Plastic chair. Zip ties. Balaclava on the interrogator. Your handler tells you this one was spotted on their territory. Could be a rival scout. Could be nobody. They want your read. You walk into the room. The man in the chair is maybe 22. Skinny. Cheap clothes. He's shaking. He says he's a delivery driver. He took a shortcut. He doesn't know anyone. His voice cracks when he talks. You look at his hands. Calloused from gripping handlebars. You look at his shoes. Cheap work shoes with pharmacy dust on the soles. You know this man. Not his face. His situation. You've been in that chair. You know what the zip ties feel like. You know the exact pitch of voice when someone is telling the truth and nobody believes them. You walk out. You tell your handler he's clean. Wrong guy. Let him go. Your handler nods. They drive the kid to a highway and drop him off. No shoes, no phone. You don't know if he got home. You don't ask. You're 30. You manage routes across 3 provinces. You carry a gun now. A small one, in your waistband. You've never used it. You don't need to. The gun isn't for fighting. It's for the feeling. The weight against your hip that says nobody decides for you anymore. You sleep in a decent apartment. You eat at restaurants. You send money home. Your mother's fridge is always full. Your nephew has new school shoes. From the outside, you made it. From the inside, you know what you are. You know the pharmacy packages are still on that street somewhere. The aspirin and insulin you were carrying the morning they grabbed you. That was 4 years ago. That delivery guy doesn't exist anymore. He died in a plastic chair on a farm outside the city. The man who walked out wasn't him. One night, you're driving home. You pass through the neighborhood where they grabbed you. Same street, same turn. A kid on a motorcycle takes the shortcut. Riding fast. Pharmacy bag strapped to the back. He doesn't know that 2 blocks ahead, someone is watching. Someone is always watching. You could flash your lights, honk, wave him down, tell him to take the long way. But what would you say? You took a shortcut once. It cost you everything you were. And the person you became to survive it is the reason that kids should be scared of this neighborhood in the first place. You joined the machine so it couldn't eat you. But now you are the machine. The chair is still in that room, still bolted to the floor. The only thing that changed is which side of it you're on. That's a wrap for today. The story you just heard is fiction, but in Colombia, people disappear. Wrong people. Innocent people. And some of them come back so broken that the only place they feel safe is inside the thing that broke them. If this one made you think, drop a comment. Subscribe for more.